Shall we begin?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Candid Conversations. I am your host, the laid back, down to earth life coach, Aisha Israel. All right, welcome everybody. It's Monday again, and you have tuned in to Candid Conversations. I am your host, the laid back, down to earth life coach, Aisha Israel, and we have a pretty exciting show lined up for you tonight. So thank you for joining us. Don't forget to put your comments in the comment section so we can keep the conversation going. Hopefully, you all had a wonderful weekend. I didn't do too much because I was a little bit under the weather last week. And so it took a lot of energy for me to just get out of the house this weekend. But I managed to make it out of the house for about 2 hours on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And so I have an update on one of our co-hosts from season 3, Imani. She's getting close to delivering her baby, but she looks so pretty. I went to her baby shower and she's doing great. She and the hubby and the big girl are all waiting, not so patiently for the baby. They're all excited. But I was just so excited to see that her baby is going to be surrounded with so much love. I had a good time at the baby shower and meeting her family. Yeah, we just had a good time. So exciting to bring some new life into the world. Also, as you guys know, I am a member of Sigma Gamma Rho sorority. So I just had to throw this up real quick. November is here. So those of you who are my friends on social media, expect a lot of blue and gold on your timeline over the next 30 days, but definitely the next 12 days. All right. So with that said, I'm trying to think was there any other news I needed to bring to you. I don't really have any. So I did want to just give you a reminder about our Candid Conversations Girl Talk merchandise, the wine glass and the mug. I have my original wine glass with me tonight, but you can still get those. And we have t-shirts that say Boss Chick. All right. So now with that, get ready to meet our boss chick for tonight. So she is an amazing young lady who is doing some great things. She owns her own company. And from what I've seen, she's doing a great job of empowering other entrepreneurial women. So I brought her on the show so she can just tell you what kinds of things that she's doing. And get ready with your pen and pad to take some notes, and welcome Miss Nichola. Oops, I'm sorry. I did that in college and I have not done that in so many years. I am so sorry. Her name is Nicole. She just spells it a unique way. But let's welcome her to the show. All right. So sorry, Nicole. I have not done that in
Okay.
20 years. I remember you corrected me in college. I can't even believe I did that.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. But welcome to the show. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm recovering. But I'm getting my energy back up and ready to seize, whatever is in front of me.
Exactly. It's November 1st, beginning of the month. We got 2 more months before the end of the year. So
yes. And so much to do in these next 61 days.
Exactly.
To round out the year. Exactly. So I just always want our boss chicks to show what they do and love and be able to say it from your own words. So the first thing I like to do is have you just tell people your name, the name of your company, and what that is.
Okay. So yes, I am Nicole Hines. A lot of people knows me as Nikki, also as Nikki Hines. So my overall parent company is called Hines Hospitality. As you can tell, it's all about hospitality lifestyle. But currently, we have a lifestyle brand. We call it a lifestyle food and beverage brand. We curate multi-course dinners, cocktail demonstrations, cooking and cocktail demonstrations. Nice. We also help people who want to entertain at home, kind of like the Generation X of our beloved B. Smith is my vision of myself. Just giving people some entertaining tips. And then along with that, when we come to people's homes, it's not just like, hey, I'm a private chef or anything like that, where a lot of people get. We actually bring the full restaurant experience to your home. So all you have to do is greet your guests, say hi, and say goodbye. We bring everything. Yeah, like bye, hi, bye. That's all you gotta do is hi and bye. But yeah, we bring everything to the home. We bring the linens, the plates, the silverware, the centerpieces, depending on how many, with the sizes. I have a staff. We take over your kitchen. We take over wherever you want to serve your guests at. We've been in people's driveways with COVID.
Oh,
We've
wow.
been everywhere. Like, because someone rented a tent and then did a
Yeah.
driveway.
Okay.
But it's a fun experience. Whereas, like I said, for people who don't want to do anything but want to entertain, especially with COVID, because you have large parties, this is a way to entertain with folks at your house without having to worry about, can we all sit together? What's the restaurant situation? And it's in your home. And so we clean up around you. So that's what I say. You just say bye to your guests. We clean up around you. You don't have to worry about us cleaning up, you having to clean up and then stopping in between your guests.
Okay.
And so we love doing that. We're in our 5th year.
Nice.
And like I said, I've expanded. I don't like the word pivot. I've expanded with the in-person because before COVID, we used to do it as pop-up restaurants throughout the city of Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
So find unique spaces, sell a ticket, and then just transform anywhere from a coffee shop to private loft spaces to museum spaces and just make it into a full-service restaurant. And then now, like I said, we've added that addition as coming into people's homes. Have great experience, like what the cocktail classes and cooking cocktail classes have gone virtual. Okay. So people love that. And that's allowed us to expand across the country because it's virtual and anyone can join us now. So we've had a lot of great success with that with corporate clients. So that's what a Dining Diva does. And then like Hines Hospitality overall, as I said, it's the parent company. And I do a lot of project management for people who want to open up their own restaurants. And most of my clientele is African-American, a lot of African-American women. Because my experience is 20 plus years in the hospitality industry, and that's what I basically did was project management to help restaurants get open. And I'm culinary trained, so I can do menus for them, help them with their menus, standard operating procedures, understanding basically everything, the nuts and bolts of trying to get the restaurants open. So super excited about that. This past summer was part of the project in Charleston Airport. We opened up the Cinnabon, and Cinnabon, the owner of the Cinnabon, is the first woman and the first person of color to have a restaurant at the Charleston Airport. So to be part of that team and knowing that like it's a woman, it's a Black woman, and then for me to be her project manager on top of it, because kind of like I was her voice, I was her eyes, I was her hands for this project. That was really super excited to be part of that. So that's kind of what we do. We're keep moving. We're launching some products. We got Brown Girl Mixers is coming out. We did a slow launch. So Brown Girl Mixers is a spinoff of a Dining Diva. It's a DBA. It's a product of a Dining Diva. When we do our cocktail classes, I get a lot of like, oh, that tastes really good, but I'm not going to do it at home. And, you should bottle it. And so, so anytime I do my cocktail classes, I do my own simple syrups. I do my own shrubs. And they're all seasonal, or seasoned and flavored and all that stuff. So we did a soft launch this past month in October with a harder launch by December. So the plan is to have 6 stapled flavors for the syrups and then seasonal flavors. So we'll be getting into what we call the harvest simple syrup. So think about all of your winter holiday flavors like ginger and cinnamon and nutmeg.
That sounds
all good. In a simple syrup. And what people don't realize is simple syrups don't necessarily always have to be an alcoholic beverage. You can put it in your hot teas, your cold teas, coffees. You could drizzle it on fruit. You can put it on, if you're not a big maple syrup person, but you want something sweet, you can put it on your pancakes, your waffles.
And this is the same syrup going on all these different things?
Yep, just different flavors. Yeah, and that's what my thing is, like telling people like, no, if you don't drink, you can still use this. Like you can bake with it, there's things like, so anything that you would kind of substitute sugar with, you use the simple syrup, and then shrubs is basically a vinegar base. So more of your acidic cocktails, you would probably put a shrub in there, but at the same time, great to cook with, because if you think about sauces and things like that, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute, I already have like this pre-made kind of, add to it, so you
Yeah.
don't have to really worry about too much of the seasonings and stuff.
Well,
So we're
I
super
mean,
excited
I
about
like
that.
the idea already with just taking a lot of work off of my hands. So
Right.
that sounds good. So
You're
now,
like, I want that martini. And I was like, but I want to make it taste like lemon basil. Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and get the simple serve with lemon
yeah,
basil, right? So yeah, so
okay,
we're super excited about that. That's our new push, our new adventure. So
okay, I can't wait to check that out. It sounds very interesting. What was I going to ask you? Oh, so how far do your clients range? Like, are you local or do you do this in other areas as well?
which one? The
The
Dining Diva?
the dining diva, yeah.
So far we have gone as far as South Carolina, about 2 hours out.
Okay,
But we're open. I tell people it's like basically you just gotta pay for our travel.
yeah,
Like you pay
okay,
for our travel, we can make it happen. So yeah, I mean we can
okay,
basically be anywhere as long as it's obviously planned in advance so that the team can go and
yes,
everything, and depending on how big it is. But yeah, as long
okay,
as if you don't mind the travel, even when we're 2 hours out, there's still travel, but it's only like mileage. But
right.
if somebody wanted to get us to another state, it's like, okay, well, we'll talk out the logistics of us getting to that
Yeah.
other state.
I mean, my wheels are really turning. You and I are probably going to have to talk because I didn't know about all the intricacies of your job. I knew you were a project manager and, all of that. So I was really impressed with that because I think the headline with the one who opened up the Cinnabon in the airport caught my attention because it said something like the first African American woman to own a franchise inside of a restaurant in Georgia.
Well, South Carolina, inside of
South
the
Carolina.
airport.
Okay.
In
So
the
I was
airport.
like, oh, okay, I have to find out more about this. And then I saw your name. I'm like, wait a minute, I know her. Let me see what's going on there. So
Yeah.
you got a lot of things going on. That's really impressive. And so we don't have a lot of time for our segment, but I would like for you to I mean, you said so much, but in your own words, what makes you a boss chick, or how do you see yourself falling into the category of boss chick?
Well, what I see myself as a boss chick is, a boss is like a really, in my mind, like a leader, right? So we're all
Mhm.
leaders, right? And to be a boss chick or just be a boss in general is you also have to have a team that supports you,
Mhm.
a team that would go for bat for you. So even when I was working in corporate America, my team used to call me like boss lady, like type of thing, because it's not
Yeah.
just a boss. It's like, because as a woman, you also put your own feminine spin to it, that sometimes it has to be nurturing. It doesn't have to
Yes.
be like, I'm the boss, listen to me. It's more like, hey, I understand all of my components and stuff. And then just to be a boss chick in general, I think just by my lifestyle,
Mhm.
I'm helping other people live out their dreams by being a project manager. Then I have my own dreams of what I do as my company, in terms of my lifestyle, food and beverage brand, and how to
Yes.
build that and keep it moving. And then
Mhm.
looking at opportunities of, oh, I'm doing this, but how can I make that bigger? And
Right.
then I take on the responsibilities of just being civically engaged. I sit on multiple boards.
Mhm.
I live in Atlanta, so it's kind of really like me pushing the Black and Brown communities to come out to vote, making sure they
Yeah.
understand they're voting for what they're voting for. I don't stand in the way who or what you're voting for, but understanding what's on the ballot, and that's
Right.
important. It's important to me because I look at it as there's too many people fought for us to have this opportunity. So I constantly work on that. And I think me being that well-rounded person where I'm just not just about work in my company, I'm
Mhm.
about the community. And then
Yeah.
I'm about family and friends on top of that. So I think that's truly what makes me a boss chick. Like, I roll in and it's like, it's not one dimension of myself.
Yes. And
So
you acknowledge your team.
yes,
Um,
I
yeah,
can't do it without them. Trust me. Any of them.
right. I'm so sure because you're doing so much. But I like your spirit, of empowering other women. And that's part of why I wanted to invite you on the show. And so I did have another question because with you doing so much, a lot of boss chicks, like you said, we're leaders, and we look to encourage and nurture and build up. But now, did you have a mentor? Because I think a lot of times people don't see that part, right? They don't see who guided you or who empowered you. So do you have anybody that you can think of that was kind of like inspiring for you?
It's interesting because when you think of the word mentor, you always think of someone who you worked with or someone who's more seasoned in the field.
Typically,
And
yeah.
I would say my biggest motivator was my aunt.
Mm.
She used to tell me, and I still use the saying, there's nothing to a failure but a try.
Mm-hmm.
And so anytime I felt like, I'm not going to, I'm a fail, she was like, how do you know? You haven't tried it. Like she was
Mm-hmm.
always my biggest supporter. Like, like you are the smartest, you are the brightest, you can do it. Don't ever say no, don't ever give up, because all it's going to do is like say, okay, well, I failed at this thing, let me try again. And so she was my biggest, motivator and, kind of mentor, because I can go to her and talk to her about anything I was talking about or anything I was passionate about. And she was just like,
Mm-hmm.
well, go ahead and try it.
Yeah.
I will say one of my things is to give back and talk to younger people and give them inspiration, because it's definitely hard in my field,
Yeah.
being a woman and then being a woman of color in hospitality, and
Mm-hmm.
not just be an hourly worker or I
Yeah.
I do
Mm-hmm.
this. I before my own company, I was, in operations, seeing multi-million dollar events in
Mm.
restaurants and stuff, and you don't see someone who looks like me
Right.
doing
True.
that. Like I was just telling this weekend, I said people, a lot of my employees that had another layer in between me and them always
Mm-hmm.
felt like I was HR or accounting or something like that,
Oh,
because
okay. They
they
don't
would
see
not think
that.
of me as the boss.
Got it.
And then I had to
Wow.
like remind them, like, no, I'm your boss's boss. Because in their mind, they're
There's
like, oh,
no
she's the
way.
HR
Yeah.
lady. Because that's the
Yeah.
only thing they know about us in the hospitality industry, is we're somebody in the office. And I'm like, no, I'm the
Yeah.
one who makes the decisions.
Right.
And you can see the like, what? I'm like, yeah, your
Exactly.
boss's name is such and such. Well, they got to report to me.
Yes.
And so, for me, it's kind of one of my goals too, to just make sure I talk to young kids and young women, especially, to let them know that you're going to get in a place where you're going to be surrounded by nothing but men. You're going to be in a place where you're surrounded by nothing but men, white men.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole nother conversation with these folks, because, like I said, in this industry, it's already hard to see women
Mm-hmm.
in that position, and then seeing a woman of color that's in a
Yeah.
higher up operational position. And
So
so,
let's close out with that. So if let's say there are young women who are interested in being in the hospitality industry and rising to the top, but maybe they're a little bit intimidated because of all the things that you've said, the demographics of the industry, what kind of encouraging words or anything specific can you tell them, that can maybe just give them a little bit of a boost or some type of encouragement?
so what I once going back to my saying, like, there's nothing to failure but a try, is if you're interested, if you're passionate about it, ask the questions, ask them to teach you the business side of it. They're not going to volunteer it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a boss and you're kind of like, oh, I work kind of in management, but I'm not really management,
Mm-hmm.
ask them, say, how do I know we're doing good in sales?
Mm-hmm.
Um, ask them, like, how, how do I figure out the percentage, or is my labor too high? They need to ask the questions, because they're not going to volunteer that information.
Got
And
it.
then you have to put yourself up front, volunteer for things, do things and say, oh, I have a great idea. Don't be shy to express your ideas. Don't be humble. I think, what is it, that book called Lean In?
Yeah.
I was never one of those women who had to read a book about leaning in, but
But it could help someone else.
right. But it could definitely help somebody in. You have to lean in. You have to make yourself present, because if you don't, they're going to run you over, and they're never going to see you as a leader in those positions. Even if you start off as an assistant manager,
Mm-hmm.
the next thing is, hey, I'm an assistant manager. I interview people all the time that are assistant managers and don't know anything. So you
Oh,
can never move
wow.
up.
Okay.
Right? So if you don't understand the business of hospitality, you'll never move up. So you'll still be either making a low salary wage or hourly wage. You'll
Yeah.
never move up to the ladder of, oh, I'm making bonus.
Yeah.
I'm, like I said, you're somebody's boss's boss, that type of situation. So you
Exactly.
have to definitely lean in and do all of that, that hard work, unfortunately. And, and it is an industry. I know a lot of industries are predominantly male, but
Mm-hmm.
hospitality is still archaic. The
Yeah.
hours are not meant for us as a woman, because, if
Mm-hmm.
you think about it, most restaurants open up, if they open up for lunch, their lunch and late night dinners, or their breakfast and
Mm-hmm.
lunch and dinner. And as
Okay.
women, we tend to be the head of household, like we're the ones taking care of kids
So
or
you have to go
our
home.
parents. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're got to serve breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning, guess what time you're doing there as a manager? You're there at 5 in the morning.
Got it.
If you're a closing manager, you're probably leaving at 4 in the morning.
Okay.
So where do you have family time? So it's not still one of these industries that's not meant for us, but that's the reason why you have to educate yourself so that you can move up and then you can have a work-life balance. You can be one of these, like good old boys that can like say, I'm
Right.
leaving at 5 o'clock.
Or even move into being an influencer at
Right.
some point, right?
Right.
To change things so that they do work
Yeah,
for everybody in there.
exactly.
Yeah, agreed.
So
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Before you go, if you can give everybody any information for either getting in touch with you or your business, A Dining Diva, or when your simple syrups are coming out, any of that, so that people will know how to get in touch with you.
So we're simple. Everything's branded the same way. A Dining Diva.
Okay.
.com. So it's adiningdiva.com is the website. And on that website, you can always ask to be added to the newsletter or send us a message. I'm Nikki at A Dining Diva if you want to email me. So that's Nicky. So I spell it with a Y, Nicky at A Dining Diva. And in social media, we're A Dining Diva LLC. So we are on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. It's all the same handle, A Dining Diva LLC. And the new company is called Brown Girl Mixers. So go
Right.
onto the website, sign up to be added so that once we launch, you'll get the first know. But Brown Girl Mixers is the new product.
I
And that's
love it.
browngirlmixers.com.
Thank you so much. Oh, and before you go, I'm sorry. I would like to extend an invitation for you to come back later in the show and have some girl talk with us. Are you
Okay.
available?
Yeah,
All
sure. I can
right.
hang out a little bit. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming. All right, everybody. Up next is Miss Vanessa Rickmon with her spotlight on education. Sit tight.
Hi, how are you? This is your friendly neighborhood teacher. So, for all those parents who feel like you don't have a teacher friend, to clue you in, I am that teacher friend. I'm here for you. So, it is the month of November. Shout out to my sorors, the wonderful women of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, the Educators Sorority. And I want to say parent conferences are coming. Parents, can you believe it? We're in our new normal. But are things really normal at all? Let's be honest. We know that things have not been the same since we began this quarantine COVID pandemica. But we want to thank you as teachers for creating those amazing spaces for your students to work. They were studious during COVID over Zoom, over Google Classroom. They were doing their thing, and we see you and we thank you. Now those spaces become their study spaces. So if you're back in person and your babies are doing those COVID tests, we want to say thank you for keeping those study spaces well stacked with books, well lit, nice and quiet. I know my student would always say, Mom, I'm able to do my homework with YouTube on. No, you're not. Please turn off the TV, turn off the music, let them study in peace. All right, parent conferences. We want to say, parents, we are so excited to see you, whether it's via Zoom or in person. We are excited to talk to you and tell you about all of your students' achievements while they're in the classroom. And we promise you, when we're in the classroom, we don't believe all those crazy stories that your students say about you, and you try to use discernment when you hear those stories about us. Teachers come to school every day armed with amazing lesson plans. They are really keyed in on what our students need for reading and math. And our babies just want to talk about the newest YouTube or TikTok craze. So be patient when your baby tries to tell you, well, Mom, I was trying to tell her my story and she wasn't listening. The teacher doesn't know anything about TikTok and sometimes YouTube. They're thrown off. Our teachers are there for education, not entertainment. So if they're not the most exciting at certain lessons, give them some compassion. They're focused on trying to get them to learn reading, vocabulary, science, math. So while I know we love to see the latest TikTok dance, we have to stay focused. So, parent conferences, use some compassion. Watch that body language. Make sure you're smiling. Make sure you're not already going in with saying, "Oh, I'm not happy with this teacher." Be ready to hear some concerns and how you guys can work together. Also, communication. With COVID, we had a crazy amount of communication. Who knew there were so many apps? Class Dojo, Remind, Google Classroom messaging. There are so many ways that you can contact your teacher. Use this time to contact them, not just parent conferences. Talk to them before, send a greeting, talk to them after. Maybe the teacher will post something, respond to it, say something. It'll just give that teacher a chance to talk to you prior to parent conferences. And collaboration. Your teachers know that you are sending the best and the brightest into their classroom. We know that your babies have all your hopes and dreams. And so we want to honor you and honor them. Be ready to hear the good and the bad, the positive and the things that are not so positive, because it all makes a much better student. So thank you. This has been your teacher moment from your teacher friend, Vanessa. Have a great parent conference.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for so many things that you just said, and
Sorry.
talking to the parents and encouraging them to even just be confident in parenting after the child comes home from school. So I appreciate that. Yeah, I have report card pickup next week. So that's going to be fun. I have not been in the classroom in over 10 years. So,
Right.
yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with my kindergartners, but I'm also finding out just how young I am not anymore.
Right. They are ready. They have so many expertise. Like the TikTok, I can't keep up. I'm like, wait, what? What happened? Baby, let's focus. Stay right here with me.
I know. Oh, but thank you so much. I'm sure that the parents and the teachers appreciate all of that information. So now with that, of course, we are getting ready to get into some girl talk. And so I'd like to
Okay.
extend an invitation for you to stay and get into some relationship conversation. Are you up for the challenge?
Let's go. Let's go. I'm here for it.
All right, sounds good. So when we come back, it will be me, Vanessa, and all of the Girl Talk panel. And Miss Nicole says she will come back as well. So stay tuned. Coming up next, Girl Talk. Oh, yes, it's time for Girl Talk with Dawn B, Latanya, Udania, and yours truly, your laid back, down to earth life coach. All right, ladies, it's time to decide. Would you like a question, a scenario, or a personal truth? Think about it, but whatever you choose, just don't forget the wine. All right, now, it's time to get this conversation started. All right, are we all here? Uh-oh, we're missing Nicole. I guess. Oh, there she goes. Okay. All right. Now I can see everybody. Hi, ladies.
Hi, ladies.
How
Hi.
are you this evening? I know
Great.
it's Monday. But you guys are ready, right?
Tired.
Yes.
I know everybody had a long day today. Everybody worked, did something, took some energy. So that's why we make this kind of fun. They are serious relationship questions. Um, so we do have to keep that in mind. But sometimes the subjects are kind of comical, so we do get some laughs in. But we do want to remember that these are real people's situations. So to have a little bit of compassion and understanding as we go through them. All right. So, Don, I don't know what you just did, that quick change.
What? I was here. I got kicked out. I don't know what happened.
Oh yeah. I thought you clicked off. Okay. All right. So for the people at home, if this is your first time tuning in to Girl Talk, or if you haven't done it in a while, let me refresh your memory about how this works. So every lady on the panel has an opportunity to choose a question, a scenario, or a personal truth. And at the time that they choose, they get an uninterrupted period of time to answer the question candidly before the rest of us chime in. All right. And so I usually go with the person that is right next to me on the screen. I do not know how this happened, Dania, but it's you.
Every Monday.
You are the chosen one.
Literally.
All right. So what do you choose?
Personal truth.
All right. We're going to start with the personal truth. Let's see what we have. What is your biggest fear? Not too bad.
I think one of my biggest fear is not completing like my assignment. My assignment as in going towards like my destiny, my role in my career, things that I need to do for my business. It's like a big fear of mine. I'm like, I gotta get this done. Like I can't procrastinate. I have to be able to create jobs for other people. I think that's like a really big fear of mine. And it's funny you should ask that. It's been lately, feeling that way. So it's completing my assignments, completing my to-do tasks, that relate to my businesses.
Got it. I understand that. Yes. All right. Anybody else have a fear, their biggest fear?
You guys are hardworking women. All I can say is like we are too hard on ourselves. So I know we all have that fear of failure. We because we're the ones that we lean on. Like many of us don't have anyone else to lean on. So I definitely failure is a big fear. I'm here for that. Yep.
Yes. I'm right. I'm right along with you guys. I think probably if I want to get specific along those lines, and I think we kind of talked about it last week too. Being broke, I don't like being uncomfortable. Especially, and like you said, there's a lot on our shoulders. We are responsible for not only us, we're responsible for other people. And so I just always am wondering, I don't know if it's a fear necessarily, but I'm just always wondering if I'm doing enough so that I can be prepared for the unexpected. Right. So I'm planning for retirement, but what if something doesn't happen the way that I expect it to? I just wonder, am I doing enough to be ready for anything?
That's good.
Yeah. One of my fears is basically almost like what Udania said, but it's like dying a full life. Basically, everything that's in me, I don't get anything out. I don't fulfill what I am put on this earth to do. When I die, I want to die empty. Like everything that's in me, I want it out. I want to be able to share it with the world, share it with my family, share it with my children. That's like that's a fear that I have. And when my dad passed, I believe that he passed away with a lot of talents and gifts that he never got to use.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like you don't want to be on your way to the pearly gates and be like, oh shoot, I forgot.
I was supposed to, I listened to Les Brown before, and he said the richest place in
in the
in
world
on earth
is
is the graveyard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a shame. Yeah. I
and
agree.
then like the last thing he said that always resonated with me was like, when you go to heaven, how would you feel if God is like, oh, welcome, I have all these presents for you, and all of the presents are all the things that he gave you on earth, but you never took the chance to really tap into to open.
Oh wow, that's deep.
So,
Oh man. Okay, that's an interesting way to look at it. Like, okay, I got to get all of this out. Yeah. Okay, I
yeah.
like that. That was a pretty vivid visual for me. All right. All right. Did anybody else want to say anything, or are we moving on to the next thing?
Moving on up.
Okay. All right. So, Miss Vanessa, you are next up. What would you like? A question, a scenario, or a personal truth? Why do you look shocked?
Cause I'm scared after that personal truth. Y'all deep in these streets. Wait, no. Okay. Let's do a question. I don't know. Let's do a question.
Okay. Question. I keep hearing that people change after they get married. So then what do people base their decision to get married on?
It just depends on when you're younger. It just depends on your age. Like when you're younger, you get married. Oh, love. It's definitely lust or love. And then as you get older, you get wiser. That whole change up for me, I don't know. I'm too old to change up now. Shoot, you get what you get. That's what it is. So maybe they're getting married on this ideal. Maybe they think. I feel like there's a saying that women think they can change a man, and men think. I think women they look at their potential, and men want to just be, the man. You know what I mean? Like, so they don't. I feel like, I don't know, women. I don't know. We always want to change them, and men want to save us. So I don't know. What are they getting married based on? I don't know. Some ideal.
Yeah, I do think that age probably plays a really big part, because I know I don't think the same now as I did when I first got married. And I think probably gender as well. I think men and women look at things differently. I know that, kind of like how we were talking about earlier, I kind of pride myself on having so many accomplishments, being able to raise children with or without support. You know what I mean? All these things I'm thinking, I'm a pretty good catch. And when I overheard my husband before we got married telling somebody what he liked most about me, it was that I listened to him. I was like, okay, wait, what? Like, I mean, what? That's important. I mean, not that that's not important, but wow, okay.
It is important to men.
Right. You funny, Dawn. Okay. But still, I think it depends on the person. Some people do change. And then some people, I mean, we grow, we develop. So I can't see that something's going to stay exactly the same as it is. So I think that would be an unrealistic expectation. So you have to look deeper.
Well, I unknowingly changed.
Oh, unknowingly?
I got married. Then all of a sudden, I wasn't Dawn B anymore. Like, wait.
Oh.
Where did I go? Because
you a we. You was a we.
I was a what?
A we. Now it was we. It wasn't Dawn. It was like we. We.
Oh, I turned into we. I turned French. I did. I was French. I was also, I had this ridiculous idea of what marriage, like, this is what I'm supposed to do, and forgot that he turned a hoe into a housewife. You know what I mean? Like, I forgot that part.
Dawn.
I'm just keeping it real. And so, like, and no, it's very true. Like, I ended up not 8-9 years later, not the same kind of person he married. Like, I changed. Like, even my Facebook post changed. Like, my social media looks different because I was protecting his career and putting my shit down, putting my whole career like, whoa, I want to say this because I'm a comedian, but I'm not going to say this because he is military. And the president to come from him, I just put myself second. I did not know I was changing until I was getting a divorce, almost.
Interesting.
So with the breakup, and it was just like, you lost your drive. You didn't do this. You don't add. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm thinking I'm still the same. I mean, in fact, I was. He was just partly tearing me down and partly trying to give me this pep talk after having children. And you naturally change after having children. You never had children before. Your body will change, and you don't even mean like, wait, what? Because I swore I gave birth, and then they gave me menopause in the same night.
So, so look, question, Dawn. So are you saying that were you unhappy in this change, or you willingly changed? Like, it sounds like it wasn't a discussion.
No,
Like, he
I
didn't
did
tell
not
you
know
you
I
had to.
was. No, right. I just had this idea of marriage. You have to cook, clean, have sex, and shut up. No, like for real. Like it was like
Sorry, you
big,
guys.
just the ring. Who at your door?
My
I
ring
don't
is
know.
so
I just
sensitive. It could be a car driving by.
that's good. I wish I'd
Sorry.
have had a marriage ring, like not a ring, but like to show me that
An alarm to go off.
I don't know.
Gotcha.
I did not. I just became more conservative, so to speak. Like I didn't even say some of the same things I would say. Like my ex-husband never said, "You need to do this." I just was like, "Well, yeah, I have a husband now, and I'm going to be uptight," which
Got
was
it.
the wrong answer. I caught it too late.
Got it.
Plus, I mean, not necessarily too late because I think this marriage was going to end anyway. I wish I would have did it the other way though, because then I would have got paid.
What's the other way?
It wouldn't have been murder. It would have been.
What is happening?
It would have been self-defense.
Glad it's over. And there's nothing to consider. It might be time to go on to the next question.
Joking.
All right.
I'm not kidding nobody.
All right. Thank you for your input. Did anybody else want to say anything before I move on?
No, I just think that a lot of people rush into marriage. Well, sometimes people rush into marriage and they don't know their spouse. And that's why they feel like things change or people change. Because you're marrying a representative as opposed to who the person really is. Because I know I've changed since I met my husband. Of course, like we met when we were 30. Well, I was 30. And I'm like 42 now. And so, yeah, I'm not the same person I was then. So, yeah, people are going to change, and the person who you wish should embrace it if it's a good change. That's all.
I agree. Because life by itself is going to change you. Just your experiences every day.
The pandemic changed everything too.
Yeah.
Hey, oh yeah, a lot of marriages didn't last during the pandemic.
Yeah.
The pandemic.
Like Dawn's t-shirt.
Right.
All right, Latanya, you are up.
Oh, I'll do a question.
A question. All right. How well should you know someone before you send a provocative selfie?
I just say get it out the way. Just do it right now, right away.
Exactly.
Don rubbing off on me. No, just
you said get it out the way. Oh man. Wait, what it says how well should you know someone? So I mean, I don't know if this person that asked the question is just dating and just met someone. Like I don't think that's a good time.
I don't send it at all.
I'm just playing.
Oh no.
I think, and you know what? I feel like if you feel comfortable enough to send it and you're an adult, then send it. When you send it, then you already know the repercussions that may come with that. So you take the risk or not. Like it depends on if I wouldn't send them like right out the gate. Like,
well, what's a provocative picture? What's a provocative picture? You still have clothing on, right?
No,
a boob.
I was thinking like a sexting. That was my understanding when I read it.
Yeah, that was mine too.
Provocative nude. What they say? What do we send a nude?
It's a body
why
part.
else would you be?
Yeah,
well, because I mean, like if you send like a picture, like what is the big deal? I mean, a sexy look.
You can send them a
So
picture
Don
with
says it's
lingerie.
levels. Right.
But
She's
even
saying it's
lingerie,
levels.
I mean, I will say
Yeah.
this, that I think it's the same way of feeling comfortable, but I always believe that if I have more to lose than he does, then you ain't getting no picture. Because you're going to try to use something later on. Like, you got to look at your life. And, you know, if that ever gets loose or someone sees it, what are you going to lose? Like, if you ain't got nothing to lose, then send it. But if you got something to lose because of that picture, it's never worth it.
I mean,
I
what
feel like
could
you better
you
take
lose?
a mental picture. Like, you keep a mental picture in your body. That's about it.
I say,
Well, I'm really private,
so you
so
can lose friends. That's what I'm saying. Post it from the beginning. That's how you get your sugar daddy.
so it all depends on what your end game is.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, I'm really private, and I mean, just so many times, like I don't even send them to my husband. Now I might send some provocative words, and say meet me
That
here.
could come back to get you too.
Meet me here. But yeah, and that's the thing, because I mean, it doesn't happen often, but I have in the past accidentally sent a text to the wrong person, and it was just a regular text. So imagine if it was a provocative selfie, or you know what I mean, just something that's a little too much. You don't want somebody, especially a coworker, somebody you don't know that well, to even see you in that way. Like, we don't have those type of conversations. That's not how I want to present myself. So I'm just cautious about those accidents more than anything.
Don't trust them. They messy. I mean, I feel like women are very private, and you will have some pictures in your inbox that you will take to the grave. You never show. But men are messy. They'll be like, let me show you what she sent me. Then next thing you know, you got messages that got passed around. They comparing pictures. No. Just saying, that's
compare
what I
my pictures. Don't compare my real life. I'm gonna say that P word later. But I don't care. I'm still confused as to why, like, politicians and like people get fired for having sexual indiscretions. That has nothing to do with my talent. I didn't do it to you, and I should not lose my job. If you want to send a pic, send a pic. So what? Everybody's seeing all of the body parts. It wasn't me. If it comes down to it, I'm like, that ain't even me. That's Photoshop. You know what they can do.
Very interesting.
I'm not uptight when it comes to that. But when I get married and have kids, I'll all of a sudden be uptight.
But see, now look at that though, Dawn, because you are a professional comedian and I'm a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have a different, I mean, people could say they don't want me teaching their kids. That my boss could say she doesn't want. So I'm saying there could be
different. Because you decided to be a sexy person. Teachers not sexy. Y'all got kids too.
And them teachers getting down.
No, what you say, LaTanya? I didn't hear what LaTanya said.
I said them teachers be getting down. I know some.
Hello. It was one that graduated 2 years behind me. She wore her cheerleading uniform as the teacher from our elementary school, as a high school teacher. Cold busted with a football player. I don't condone that. But she was a teacher and she was messing with a high school student. However, I mean, you just gave me an example of what I just said. I don't think people should lose their jobs based on what they do in their personal life. If I am qualified, now if it's a heinous crime of predator and pedophile activity, that's something different.
Right.
But okay,
well,
teacher.
I mean, I think,
oh shoot, my teacher is sexy.
But some professions and careers have what they call morality clauses. And so that falls under those clauses and stuff. That's why you also see a lot of athletes get in trouble, because they also have clauses in their contracts that says that you have to be of high moral standards. And you use like the term politician, technically they don't lose their job per se because they've exposed their body parts from a photo, whatever.
To resign.
It's pushed to resign
heavily.
Because of the moral clause. It's like, there's an unwritten rule for politicians that you should be on a higher level when it comes to ethics and morals.
What makes this level higher? What makes you think you better than me? What's the
I'm just saying
moral?
that's why politicians
That's the
technically
part
don't get fired, but they know that they probably won't get reelected or
oh no,
depending on
they
their
get way down. But
area.
Spritzer, whatever. I made too many jokes. I can't remember his name about him.
Pritzker.
Not Pritzker. The governor from
The one that was in New York,
in Connecticut. Yes.
yes.
Who were the
I mean,
clients?
he was a New York person. His wife was in the White House. It just wasn't a good
They
look
came
that
down.
you
It's
showing dick
judgy.
pics.
It's like judge
He was
your
showing
mama.
dick
Don't
pics.
judge me. Don't
But the
judge
thing
me.
yeah, true,
This is
true.
what I
Because
want to do.
everybody has flaws. Everybody has faults. Nobody's perfect. But at the same time, there is something called appropriate. Right. So
discretion.
there's a time and a place for everything. So just because you get down in the bedroom, just because you get drunk on the weekend, that doesn't mean that it's everybody's business. That doesn't
It's
mean
not
that it has
everybody's
to
business.
be, huh?
It's not everybody's business, but it's also not your business to judge my business. Let's take naked pictures out of it. Play. Let's do the moral clause for comedy. You got the cancel culture trying to cancel Dave Chappelle just for making a joke, and that's actually his job. It's getting out of hand. This moral clause is getting out of hand, and that's. I know I didn't switch the whole questions thing around.
That's okay, but I had wanted to talk about Dave Chappelle. Like, was that last week when his thing came out? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
But I mean, that's the same thing. It's just like, who are you to judge me?
Right.
Did I do my job?
Right.
Yes. Did I show up today? Am I dope at what I do? Yes. Did you get in my business? Yes.
Well, I think, like I said, that goes back to what do you have to lose? You know, because people can, even though that's a personal, like say I'm sending it to my man or whoever I'm sending in this picture, even if I'm in lingerie, you don't really see any body parts, whatever I'm sending to him. If you don't know the person, I think that was the question, like how much should you know the person? Like if you don't know the person doesn't have your back or your best interest at heart, and then all of a sudden you piss them off, and then all of a sudden now it's on Facebook Live, and it's like, so people who you didn't want to go see my boobs, now the million people between their followers, my followers, and everybody else's followers, now my boobs are across the country. It is my personal choice that I sent it to him, but he got mad, and he can get mad or she can get mad and then spread it, and that's not my choice. So now you have other people in your personal space,
so now
and that's the decision that you need to make as an adult is, do I have, if this by chance gets leaked and other people see it, what do I have to lose? If I ain't got nothing to lose, then I'm sending it to everybody.
What's lost?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a double standard. Definitely we hold women to a much, especially Black women, we hold Black women to a much higher standard than we hold our counterpart. Like we can't step our toe out of line without, oh, now you a hoe. No, I just slept with one person. Oh, he a hoe. So you a hoe. Like, it just, we're held to a different standard than others. Let's just say that.
I don't give a fuck.
We know.
Like, oh, she's good. Dang, she's a
but that's not everybody. That's not how everybody operates.
Just don't try to cancel me. They're gonna try to cancel you regardless. So might as well be naked and have fun.
Be naked and have fun, huh? Okay. All right, Nicole. I want you to have a chance before we get out of here tonight.
Let's go with scenarios.
All right. All right. I recently got a promotion at work, and my husband has been so supportive and encouraging. My husband suggested that along with my promotion, I should upgrade my wardrobe. Of course, I was all in, but my new hours haven't left me much time for myself. So my husband took it upon himself to do a little clothes shopping for me. He bought me like 5 professionally sassy outfits, but they were all 2 sizes too big. Now, ladies, I was pissed. My husband doesn't understand why. Can you help me explain it to him, please?
I'm trying to why is she pissed? I mean,
I don't understand.
Men don't know sizes. They don't know nothing. Like, why are you mad? Like, I mean, I'd be like happy that, oh my gosh, he knew I was busy and he went and bought me sizes. Go take that outfit back and get your right size. Order it online, whatever you got to do to get the right size. I would not be mad. Men don't know our sizes. You could tell them and they still don't know. They're going to go in there and you're going to sit there and say, hey, I need a size 6. they're gonna go in the little girl section and be like, my wife needs size 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand that we got little girls, we got juniors, we got misses, we got women's sizes. Like, they don't know nothing unless he took the shirt and pants that you wore that day to the store and said, this is her size. Why is she mad? I'm mad at her. How about that?
That's true. I'm gonna go with that part now too. Unless he was trying to prove something else. Unless he.
But sizes, I mean, that's really off. That's just means he didn't know what size she was.
But my husband knew what size
my
I was.
husband doesn't know my size.
And if he buy anything other, he's suggesting that I hit the treadmill. That's what he
yeah, I mean, maybe she already felt like she was gaining weight or something. Like maybe it was already internal for her. And so him, like you said, just being a man, not knowing one way or the other, she internalized it like he was trying to tell her something.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it where, that part, yes. She was probably like, oh, maybe my pants are too snug, and that's why his idea of him getting me 2 sizes bigger, but it wouldn't be to the point where I'm upset and, I got pissed off. I'd just be like, I'll just probably look at him like, now, do it look like I wear a size 12? Like, that would be my, look at the size and look at me. Like, do I look like I wear that? Even if I did gain weight, I'm like, do I look like I'm gonna still fit that? Like, I don't know. It just wasn't, I don't see it as being pissed, but yes, if you feel, I think that's the problem. Like, like with a lot of women, like, we're sitting there saying, hey, I'm going to be mad at the man. And we all know, like, okay, in this scenario, he ain't no better. But if you're not even opening dialogue, and you could joke around with it and kind of say, like, is he really poking at my size? Or he just didn't know.
But it sounds like he's a nice person.
Right. He's a nice person. She agreed with it.
She sounds like she likes the outfits.
Like,
just now you know where to go to get stuff. You cut your time in half.
Just exchange it. Hopefully he got it. He didn't get it from one of those stores that's like a final sale type of situation. Exactly. Now that might be a reason to be mad. You bought me some cheap stuff.
Right. Now you bought me some cheap stuff. Now that's a different story. By now you should know my lifestyle. You should not be buying me nothing cheap. But
so yeah, I agree. Just go back, girl. She's just stressed out because of her job. So she just made that little situation out of something that's so big. Like, girl, just exchange them.
STFU.
Yes, what Don said.
And and then when you talk to guys, like, I have a lot of friends that are single and stuff, like males. A lot of times they just want you to feel, they want to feel appreciative. So just say, oh, right. Thank you, honey. And like I said, depending on your relationship, you could joke about it and say, do I look this big? Like, or what you trying to tell me? That type of thing, but I wouldn't be pissed at them.
Yeah.
Right. I want to know, what is she pissed about? Like,
the 2 sizes.
Is she pissed about the sizes? Is she pissed that he bought her clothes and she didn't buy them herself? What is she pissed about? That he doesn't know her size?
She might be pissed at us now because we all said there's no reason to be mad. And she asked us to help her explain it to her husband. It was her husband, right?
Yeah.
Explain why she was mad. She said, help me explain it to him.
So, what's the difference between an 8 and a 10? I mean, she's saying 2 sizes, not 10 sizes. It wasn't like a 6 and a 26. We're talking about an 8 and a 10.
Or 8 and a 12.
Or 8 and a 12.
8 and a 12. I mean, they don't know.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Like I said, it'd be one thing if he, like, you were size 8 and then he went to the woman's size and it's like, hey, got you some new outfits. That's a totally different, or vice versa. Or you are in a woman's size and then he bought you something smaller, which is like, what are you trying to do? You want me to fit in this? Like, I mean, if it's extremely different sizes, then I think that's when you have that argument, because he's subliminally trying to tell you something. But off by a size or 2, he probably picked some woman out saying, you look like my wife's size.
And I've seen people do that in the store. I've seen guys do that. Like, you look like you about my wife's size.
What size are you? Oh, yeah. Do you like this?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can you try this on? My Christmas gift. That's how he got my last Christmas gift. Like, can you try this jacket on? You like my wife's size, and it fit me perfect.
Okay.
He lucked out.
Did you like the jacket?
I loved it.
Okay,
I loved the jacket. Yeah, he did good.
Okay, so our advice to this young lady is to not be upset, just be grateful and happy and pleased and show appreciation. Correct?
Yep.
All right, Dawn, you got 30 seconds. What you want?
I can't do nothing in 30 seconds. Question.
All right, the question?
I don't know.
Okay.
You pick.
Let's yeah, probably a question because I don't know. We have a lot of personal truths. Let's just do a personal truth. When is the last time you lied, Miss Professional Comedian?
All my jokes are true. Last time I lied,
All your jokes are true?
for the most part, they embellished a little bit. It come from a set
I didn't know that. Okay.
premise. But I might. The last time I lied is when I said these kids are mine.
Terrible.
Do y'all see it? Can you see the reflection of jumping?
No.
Where y'all here? The last time I lied is I don't ever lie. So last time I lied was a minute ago. 30 seconds ago I lied. I said I don't lie.
Clever. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Cool. Well, that was easy. I'm getting ready to close out, ladies. You okay over there, Dawn?
Okay.
Thank you, ladies, for coming on. And that went by rather quickly. All right, hold on tight. All right, thank you for tuning in to Candid Conversations, Girl Talk. We had a lot of fun. Thank you, Miss Nicole Hines, for sharing your expertise in the hospitality industry. And I'm so excited to find out what's going on with these simple syrups. So I'm going to be looking into that. And what else? And thank you, Miss Vanessa Rickmon, for your spotlight on education. I think that was some very important information, very helpful to parents and teachers. And always please subscribe to my YouTube channel, click the notification bell so you can know when we're going to go live again. And I want you to have a good week. This is Aisha Israel reminding you to know and embrace true love because you are worth it. Have a blessed evening and a wonderful week. Good night.